hospitals in the 2026 annual Delegate meeting in Kano State comes April, May 2026. Before I proceed, I want to start the meeting with an opening prayer by our elder, Professor Nma a past chairman of Nma Sokoto State and the most senior past chairman in this house. Professor. Is to recite the Hippocratic oath. And that citation will be done by the most senior person in the hierarchy of Nma, which is the past president of Nma here with us, Professor Mike Ogbina, NNI. Professor.
For record purpose, this pledge was adopted in Chicago in 2017. And I remember vividly that Nigeria proposed the insertion of a clause. So that's why each time I'm privileged to lead the association in this manner. I remember nostalgically how we fought in that hall, Chicago, that night to get that clause inserted. So you repeat after me. As a member of the medical profession, I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity. The health and well-being of my patient will be my first consideration. I will respect the autonomy and dignity of my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will not permit considerations of age, disease or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, and any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will respect the secrets that are confided in me even after the patient has died. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity and in accordance with good medical practice. I will foster the honor and noble traditions of medical profession. I will give to my teachers, colleagues, students, the respect and gratitude that is their due. I will share my medical knowledge for the benefit of the patient and the advancement of health care. I will attend to my own health. I will attend to my own health. I will attend to my own health, well-being, and abilities in order to provide care of the highest standard. I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor.
I want to officially and formally introduce to the Congress the visitors we are having. If you look at this high table, at this stage to my right, you will see two senior people, all in black, at the extreme end. These are representative of the national enemy. The person that just gave the Hippocratic oath is a very well-respected past president. The only one we have in the Northwest there are two with MNI. Professor Dr. Nma Sokoto and Professor Mike Ogrima. And Professor Mike Ogrima has a special connection with Sokoto State because he was voted here in Sokoto State at Dankani Hotel as the president of the Nigerian Medical Association. So to him is a kind of coming back home. Professor Mike Ogrima is called the bridge. He is called bridge builder. What he does is to provide peace, is to link people, is to provide bridge between the young and the elderly, is to provide bridge between minority and majority. And that's why he is the most popular president and past president of enemy in NAD. Because it was during his time that NAD got a support of enemy openly in media and in any other forum. From Mike Ogrima has established that record that wherever he goes, the turnout is always peace. Sokoto is a very peaceful state, and Prof. Mike Ogrima is aware of that, and he's here to further consolidate that belief and to also witness how peaceful Sokoto State is. You are welcome, Professor. We are proud to be your mentees, and we are proud with the guidance you are offering us. Next to him is the youngest Vice President in the archive of enemy, Dr. Ukashuma Anenga. He is Vice President too of enemy, immediate past chairman of enemy Benue State, and a former ASG of NAT. Dr. Ananga is a friend of enemy Sokoto. We have been reaching out to him whenever we have something to discuss with the NOC and whenever we have clarification to obtain from the NOC. Dr. Ananga has been very helpful and has been very, very cerebral and logical in his depositions. You are welcome, sir. And we thank you for coming. Distinguished Congress members of Nma Sokoto, as it is widely circulated that today we'll be having a delegate election. And as a preamble, for those that may not know, because people have been asking questions, that this is the first time we are having this delegate election in the annals of Nma Sokoto State. What happened is actually the review of Constitution that took place in Calabar ADM in 2024. Previously, these delegates still exist, but the chairman of the respective states serves as the custodian of that board, being the leaders of the delegation. So in any meeting, people will sit down, discuss, and agree that we are going to go in this direction. But the chairman will be the single person that will go and cast that board for all the state and for all the delegates. Even last election, my IPC, Dr. Umar Mukhtar, was the only one that went and casted the board of all the 9 delegates and all the people of Sokoto State. That board will be picked, but it will have a value of 9. That is the number of our delegates. But after that constitutional review, that power that the chairman used to have is now somehow neutralized. A chairman, though being the head of the delegation, doesn't have that power to go and vote on behalf of all the delegates. Now all the respective delegates must go and cast their votes individually. The chairman still maintains that position as leader of delegation, but he will cast only one vote. And statutorily, the Constitution made him and the secretary to be delegates. But all other people must be elected in the Congress meeting of their respective states to represent those states. So that's the initial change, that's the actual constitutional change that happened that led to all these delegate processes. If you can remember, we held a Congress meeting January 3rd in this very hall. Before that meeting, precisely on December 28th, we had SOC meeting where we discussed that for things to go easily, for inclusiveness, for fairness, we propose that this delegate should be shared among the affiliates based on their strength. And that proposal was presented to SEC on the January 2nd. And the SEC is a composition of all the past chairmen, all the committee members, and all the head of affiliates. It was discussed at that SEC, the proposal of the SOC, that affiliate should have a share of the delegates for fair representation. And it was accepted and agreed at that SEC meeting. that all the affiliates should have 111 except ARD Udud that is having a higher number of strength. That deposition, that stand was actually deposited in the last Congress we had here on January 3rd. And it was deliberated in this very house, and the house accepted that proposal by the SEC that the affiliate should present one person and ARD should present 2 people. So at that Congress meeting, if you can remember, we voted at this hall to actually agree or disagree with the proposal that is being presented from SEC to the Congress people. An election was done, 45 votes against 0 to accept those people and duly and return them as duly ratified and elected delegates. When the list of the delegates from each state was released by the NOC, we do not see the list from Sokoto State. Sokoto State was tagged as awaiting resolution along with other 8 states. We inquired the reason behind that, and we later received an official communication from the National that a petition was written by the Vice Chairman of the Center, Dr. Farooq Abakar, that an election did not hold. Therefore, there was violation of Article 8F, Section 2, Article 8, Section 2F1, that in that part of the Constitution that elections are to be done by zones, and the chairman and the secretary should be the statutory delegate, while other delegates should be elected as delegate in the Congress meeting. So the National said we should reply, and we reply attaching everything and the processes that we did. But going by what we wrote, the National actually felt that there was a breach, there was a violation of the Constitution, and they said we should conduct a fresh election that will be supervised by Professor Mike Okrima, MNI, and Dr. Usha Ananda. So this is the chronicle of the events that happened that led us to meeting again for this Congress meeting in relation to electing delegates that will represent us. Distinguished past chairman, medical elders, and Congress members, this is what transpired. And before we come to this meeting, there was a SEC meeting that took place precisely on Wednesday, January 28th, to discuss at the level of the SEC. And the discussion on the modalities was again accepted by that SEC, that they agree that the distribution should go across the affiliates as earlier discussed. But nominations form should be available so that every person that is interested can pick that nomination form in line with his affiliate, so that there is no any restriction. Somebody will not say that he is not given a fair playing ground on the selection and the election process. And coming to you now, we have this resolution from the SEC. SEC agreed that we should maintain this our arrangement of having affiliates to present, because in Sokoto we don't have zones that is stated in the constitution. Some states have zones, and usually across the country, in places that there are no zones, this type of arrangement is done for convenience, for inclusiveness, for fairness. Because if things like this are not done, some people are thinking that a particular affiliate that have a major strength can actually sweep up all the delegates that are available. So this is the wisdom behind the SEC having that meeting. Having said that, I want to present this to the floor, to the Congress, so that they will be able to decide on the direction that they want to go. I am the chairman of Sokoto State team on this chair based on your mandate, based on what you want. And today, I want you to decide for yourself the direction you are taking. Are you going to uphold your previous arrangement, your previous resolution that you adopted in this house, or you want to change your mind? The ball is in your court, the power is on you, and you can take the decision that you want to take. My respected Congress men and women, So I want to open the floor. So I want to throw that to you so that you discuss and you take a decision regarding what I narrated to you. Are you going to uphold your previous agreement, or you are going to change of it? But before I come to you, the past president from my Pogrima MNI want to share some light before we continue. Thank you.
And in this hall, I have my secondary school senior Isezwa, and my classmate Nma. I also want to respect the VC, the CMD that is here with us, past state chairman as well. It's annoying when I hear that Sokoto has no peace. We are all brothers and sisters. What is it? Are we budging to external pressures? The Sultanate or the Caliphate is not known to budge to external pressure. In fact, they conquer. So why are we at this level? If things were done properly, we would have sat down in Abuja and said, oh, these 9 delegates are carried from Sokoto. But where you have a dissenting voice, you must listen. And that's why we are here. In fact, the instruction I received from National Officers Committee is that, Mr. President, please go to Sokoto and conduct delegate election. I should be here and bring evidence of conducting delegate election. I have all the instruments of office, the Nma Constitution, and the state bylaw that are in my front here. The petition written and the response from the state chairman. Of course, the NOC said they are not happy with the outcome based on their investigation. So I'm not going to go back and find out why was this. But what we are interested in is we must move forward so that at the end of the day, we may go out not smiling to each other, but we must come up with a list. If we all go out and smiling, that means we have not resolved the issue. So, I want us to please bury the hatchets. Every two years, you have repetition of this process. I gave a story of how I became president. In 2004 or so, when I was state chairman, Kaduna, we had the option of picking Southwest or Lagos based on the new order. But we, the chairman, with some elders from the north, decided, after perpetuating the political tension in Akure, and said we should align ourselves with Lagos, who wants to be the next president. Of course, this didn't go down well with some elders then. But Lagos became the president. Southwest was to wait for another 14 years. So, late Dr. Bembe, of blessed memory, couldn't become president in 2004, but became president in 2014. Wole Atoyebi became the president in 2004. So, there's always time. If you are destined to be somewhere, nobody can alter the destiny. God ultimately decides who becomes a leader. Among the three men jumping around to be president today, only one of them can succeed. And if he's not destined, if you are not destined to succeed, you can't. For 10 years, nobody wished me anything in Nma. But when the time comes, I became the Nma. I did my best. The rest is history. So whatever we are doing today, the upcoming younger ones will go to the archive and see what we have done, how we have led. Please, whatever the outcome is today, I want everybody to be carried along, such that we are guided by the Constitution and the bylaws. I know you have a tradition here. What has been the tradition? Everybody will gather around and elect. The issue of delegates has been coming up. In fact, in 2017, there in Calabar, my NOC proposed that it should be one-on-one, one doctor to one vote. a group truncated that and it didn't survive. Thank God, in Calabar, the same Calabar, in 2024, delegate system, came up. And that's why we are here today. Otherwise, the chairman would have just gone to Kano and decide for 9 delegates that yes, this is the way we are going. I think we are developing, and we must, appreciate ourselves. Maybe tomorrow it will be electronically done. 1 doctor to 1 vote. Pam from the 4 walls of your sitting room. But today we are here, and the whole world is watching us on how we come up with our delegate system. So, Mr. Chairman, for now, NOC has only 2 of you as delegates, you and the secretary. So how do we go about to pick the other delegates? So I think we'll listen to 1, 2, but a lady must speak. One young man. In fact, the way I do it, let the youngest man speak first.
Sorry, I know that. Thank you very much, sir, for spending your time to conduct this election. Sir, I have a particular concern that is about I don't know what is the modality. How is it going to be? Because I read the constitution that says that delegate elections should be so that the constitution, the delegation come forward also of state enemy. But it's also have a clear rule that we don't have sources, but rather like we just have doctors that works in different institutions. So I don't know how is it going to be. Are we going to go with that? Are we going to get source today, or we are going to continue with what we have been doing in Sokoto? Because all along when we are doing elections in Sokoto, it has always been an open election that each and every member has equal right to contest for any position that you want. I remember during the last administration when the IDP, when he was the president, there was an attempt to get sources of Sokoto, which this foreign Congress vehemently rejected and said that Sokoto is not mature to start solving. So I don't know what are we going to employ today since we don't have sources as a way to go on the election. Thank you very much, sir.
Good morning to elders and fellow members. Dr. Khadija Lau is my name. I'm the Treasurer Association of Resident Doctors from Dampodio University Hospital, Sokoto. Thank you very much for coming. And my contribution is the modality we can employ for delegation is able representation from the affiliates of NMA, HPMPN, NMDA, M1, MDCAN, and their likes. ASMEDA, thank you very much, sir. ASMEDA, for fair representation, also with respect to the peculiarities that we have in Sokoto State, to increase participation, because one of the major challenges we have with participation from Sokoto is lack of representation from HPMPN. In fact, most of the time they are not captured. That persons have singled themselves out to say, I want to be a private practitioner, should not be a reason why they shouldn't be captured. For medical doctors who have singled out and created a niche to teach our undergraduates, 200 level and 300 level, should not be a reason why they shouldn't be captured in NMA. So, sir, please, sir, one of the modalities which I humbly request that we should uphold is bringing each and every NMA affiliate into representation to increase the participation in NMA Sokoto State. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, our distinguished visitors, and members of the high table and colleagues. On a general note, let me first welcome our colleagues and distinguished visitors and thank God for journey mercies. It's not easy to travel from far to Sokoto. My appeal is still in line with one comment I made here when this house was opened. Incidentally, it coincided with a period when some of our colleagues in Enugu sustained hand injuries from Nma politics. And rather, with all sense of humility, I did mention that Sokoto is a peaceful state. I hope we will not fall into that trap. Today we have ourselves having to invite external body. In fact, if we go by his mandate, he should come and conduct election for us. Well, we see every disappointment is a blessing. To me, it's a disappointment, but we thank God. If there is fire in just one part of this building, and you don't quench it, it will spread, and you never know where it will go. Our visitor has said everything. His introductory statement summarized everything. I'm only expanding. I don't know why we don't know our route. As I mentioned in that speech, I think it was 2020 or 2019. If we were not doctors, we would not gather here. So we have a route. We are doctors. We started by our elder, by the grace of God, leading us in reciting an oath. APC does not do that. PDP does not do that. Which other one? Why are we behaving like APC and PDP? Why are we not guided by culture and tradition in medicine? We are doctors first before NMA. Will anybody be qualified? They say you should write. When I wanted to register, I was required to write my folio number. Does APC member, do they have folio number? Without folio number, can you come here? Then why are you forgetting this oath? So please, let us reflect and keep to the advice that has been given by our visitor and elder. Let peace reign. We should be guided. Thank God, Sokoto is also the seat of caliphate. We are guided by religion. So we are even lucky. We are guided by our profession. We are guided by our religion. So let's not forget our roots when we are doing this. That we have to invite somebody to travel by flight, to come from far, to come and conduct delegate election for us. When issues like this arise, when I counted here, we have almost 10 past NMA chairmen that are leaving. So they couldn't resolve this problem. I am chairman, elder committee. I'm not saying that they say every disappointment is a blessing, but I'm just talking about the disappointment. But the blessing is that we have a God-sent man that is here to put us in the right track. But I think we should learn that these pictures, we should consider all our past NMA chairman as they are all men. We are looking for a woman. Maybe one is coming. They are men of wisdom. So on this note, please, I think somebody should monitor our temperature. Somebody should monitor our blood pressure. Somebody should monitor our respiratory rate. Let the vital signs come down. People should calm down. People should cool down. So all this aggressive, forceful, whatever speech should calm down. Please, it's not a matter of life and death. Otherwise, we modify the constitution. Let I alone go and be the delegate to, for Sokoto. Please, everybody should calm down. I'm just joking, please. You know what I know how to do best. But we are all, by every human being is a politician. But please, in summary, as we continue our process today, I want to plead with you to make this easy for our visitor. Let's not make things difficult for him. Thank you very much.
I want to just clarify something here. With all due respect, sir, I'm the chairman of Nma Sokoto State, and I'm the one to be spearheading this meeting. The letter I received from the national stated clearly that you are to supervise, not to conduct. So please let's keep this on record. This is the letter I received. The chairman, Nigerian Medical Association, Sokoto State Branch. Dear sir, election of state delegates for the 2026 national election. Greetings from the National Secretariat of the Nigerian Medical Association. Following a review of the petition received from your state concerning the above subject, as well as your report on the delegate election process and the response provided to the petition, it was observed that although the format for the distribution of delegate was agreed upon at the general meeting, the delegates themselves were not elected at that meeting. The procedure is inconsistent with the provisions of the Nma Constitution, specifically Article 7, Section 8, subsection 8F2C provides that, and I read, delegates from branches shall reflect the various zones in the branch and shall include the chairman, the secretary, and others who shall be elected at a general meeting of the branch before the AGC and delegate meeting. In view of the above, you are hereby directed to conduct a fresh delegate election. I'm reading this again. In view of the above, you are hereby directed to conduct a fresh delegate election in strict compliance with the relevant constitutional provision. The underlisted have been appointed to supervise the conduct of the delegate election. Dr. Mike Ogrima, MNI, Dr. Ushakuma M. Anenga. You are to liaise with the appointed supervisors to agree on a suitable date between 26th January 2026 and 4th February 2026 for the conduct of the election. The outcome of the exercise should be forwarded to the National Secretariat on or before 5th February 2026. We appreciate your cooperation. Yours sincerely, Dr. Ben Ebo, Secretary General, Nigerian Medical Association. With all due respect, sir, I think this is just to correct the record. I am actually directed to conduct the election. My highly respected past president, Prof. Mike Ogrima Emanai, whom I so much respect, and his amiable, and the amiable BP2 of the enemy, Dr. Usha Anenga, are our supervisors. They will see how we conduct the election, and they will actually direct us appropriately. Thank you very much, sir. Professor MTO want to speak, sir.
Please, hello. Mr. Chairman, the past president, enemy, Dr. Usha, Vice President 2, other members present here, distinguished colleagues. What I want to set straight is that I think the issue of semantics. Everything that has been said here today is the same. The letter the chairman has read is not any other communication, but one from the National Officers Committee. And the mandate of Professor Ogrima MNI is still same, to come and conduct this election. That's the synchrony. There is no dichotomy whatsoever. And therefore, on the platform of peace, we have to allow all this to move on. Inasmuch as we cannot budge to any contradiction, violation of the Constitution, so also is it that there should not be any procedural violation. If there's any procedural violation here today, we might still be back to square one. I want to say that we're only re-echoing. It is true, the way, like Professor Iseso has said, if I'm not mistaken, is the eldest professional living in Sokoto today. And he has said, he only re-echoed what Professor Ogrima said. We have had enough embarrassment. Enough embarrassment. We have had enough embarrassment. This Sokoto is home to past president of NMA, Professor Dr. Nma Sokoto. Sokoto is known. The pinnacle of education in the state is the university. And we are not, the university is known that the most peaceful university. I wonder how we got into this embarrassment, a very national embarrassment. I've been in politics since when? 1981, when I was in this university, University of Sokoto. A member of the House of Representatives. And I became a speaker in 1986 of the University of Sokoto. I've went through ARD in 1995 or so in this place. NMA, I was an accidental leader. One of my colleagues was saying yesterday that, what are you saying? You mean that was your position? I said, yes, that's my position. I was only an accidental leader. At a time of crisis, if it is by age or whatsoever, I should have been NMA chairman before then. But I was a product of consensus to maintain peace at that time. And any other position that I've always occupied, it has always been accidental. Accidental, whether my vice chancellorship or CMD, accidental as far as I'm concerned. So leadership is not about ego of want to be there. It's about what can you offer. It's about how can you benefit your membership. So why are we getting into all this that we are getting into? For God's sake, I think we need to move forward very carefully. Professor Sesio, he has been the chairman of the Elders Committee. How come we're never invited into this before it became a crisis? Please, we should not continue to show this show of shame. It must stop now. It must stop now. We can't carry it forward. Thank you very much.
the VP2, and other members of the Sokoto State NMA, State Officer Committee, elders present, and my colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm just tuning the line of my in-law and also my senior brother, that we should remain calm, cool, and what? Collected. I'm just adding that 3 C's. Remain calm, cool, and collected. And when past president was reading to us, he said Nigeria made contribution, and we already forget about it. Permission, sir. You read it, and he echoed it 2-3 times for us, that I will attend to my own health, well-being, and ability in order to provide care of the highest standard. The way this thing is going to start already now, when Prof, my in-law, said blood pressure should not go up, we already started by the chairman. I agree with my brother, Professor MTO Taufik. And even if for record purpose, Professor Ogirima is not sent there to come and observe. VP2 are not sent here to come and observe. They are called here to come and supervise and conduct that election. You did it before. Let's tell ourselves the truth. And they said it was not correct. So that mandate of you to do it has been removed from you. That's why they send these people to come and do it. And even if you look at APC or PDP or ADC, they send people from other states to another state to go and conduct primaries, go and do it, and they are the one that don't they have state chairman? So this statement you made, let's tell us it's not correct. You are the chairman. Yes, you conduct this meeting, this chairman, but to conduct this election, that right from that letter you read to supervise. I'm your supervisor. And the candidate say, I cannot do such a thing. And I supervise your project. Say it to me, we'll meet in Ibadan or Abuja. So please, don't let us start this meeting with already temper. We should not start. Please, let them advise us and do it the way you should. Because that power has been removed. You did it before. They said it was wrong. Go now, they are sending people, go and supervise that election. And by that supervision, it is not go and observe the election. They have to supervise the conduct of that, and it's clear. And I agree with Post MTO. So please don't let us set any other thing to it to cause more, to hit the politics. Please, if you don't have it today, you have it tomorrow now. He said it was for almost 10 years. It was like an informal suspension. 10 good years from 2004. That 8 year was at the lorry that brought Professor Ayo at Oebi. But they said let it go to Lagos, not Southwest. And they punished him for 10 good years. But after some years, 2004, by the time 2016, he became the president of Nigeria Medical Association. So please, let's remain calm. Let them advise us and lead us how we will get this thing done. Constitution is clear about this thing. I don't want to even jump into that. Constitution is very, very clear. And let them lead us. I don't want to even preempt the treasurer that was saying that Constitution, because you are pushing me, Constitution say clearly that delegates shall be elected by zone by zone. Secretary and chairman will be there. But others shall be elected during Congress meeting. So why are you bringing this? If you want consensus, we can do it. But if we can agree that, okay, since we don't have zone, let's use what? Affiliates. There's no problem about that. But if care is not taken, if somebody of another affiliate, his interest is not covered, there will be another petition. So for now, let's follow what is in the Constitution. Because you push out to the world and they will say, so please, this should not come. So Mike is here to conduct this election. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. You know why I made this statement and why I read this thing for everybody to hear. SEC meeting. We sat down, we agreed on something, people modify that thing, we adopted, we brought it to this house, the house deliberated and adopted, because some people, if they are not comfortable, they can cut that the letter that was sent to us. This is a document. It's a document and it's a legal document. It's everywhere. So somebody after this process can now cut directly from here and write, having participated in the process, and write that he was at this meeting and the chairman did not conduct the election as stated in the letter, but the election was conducted by people that came from Abuja. Somebody can do that. So I have to make this clear. It has to be on the record. This meeting is being recorded and everybody is here so that somebody somewhere cannot participate in a meeting and also write a petition in the process he participated. I think this has been said straight and the record is clear. My respected MNI, sir. Prof, sir. Prof, sir. You can go ahead with it. Thank you, sir.
I will not be emotional. I will not. I will always be guided by the Constitution. Of course, I made reference to the state bylaw. Your Article 3, in bracket, zonal structure. A, the Congress shall create a zoning arrangement when the time is appropriate. So, I want to take it that we don't have zonal structure now. And it seems we want to elect delegate based on affiliates. Is that carried? Yes. So do we go ahead and identify those affiliate groups? Yes. Here. Because the Constitution says zone. And we don't have zone here. We have to meander through it based on Congress resolution. If the Congress abides and agrees that the delegates we are going to elect now will be based on affiliate groups. Is there any dissenting voice?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So that we can make effective use of our time and to avoid the unnecessary, unexpected, I want to say that the position should be very clear. The supervising past president has asked us, and we can see by the voice majority the direction in which we want to go. Before we begin to have response to whether there are dissenting opinions, I think it's important for us to quickly note that it may again be subjected to vote as to the position we should take, so that it doesn't get more complicated by the time there is contrary view to the issue as to whether we should go by the affiliate or not. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair.
My respected past president, my mentor, you are welcome to Sokoto. My friend and colleague, the confidant, Dr. Ushakuma Ananga, Mr. Chairman, elders here present, senior colleagues and colleagues. Good morning, everybody. The nature of the affiliates in Sokoto, it's that of a very complex one. It's going to be difficult to satisfy all the affiliates in Sokoto. And if any of the unsatisfied affiliate raises a petition based on the Constitution, it's going to rubbish this process and the integrity of a very senior past president. And this is why we have, since the chairman muted the idea of using affiliates, that is why I have continued to oppose it, based on its complexity and also based that the Constitution is not in accordance with the Constitution. Now, we have 7 elective delegates in Sokoto. And from the proposal the SOC made, which right from the onset, I told him that this is going to bring a lot of chaos. 7 delegates. How do you share those delegates across the membership in Sokoto?
Sir, correction, you were not in the SOC meeting.
Thank you very much. Now, the complexity is one. We have in Udut 3 or 4 affiliates, or even 5. We have those that belongs to MDCAN, Udut. We have those that belong to ARD, Udut. We have those that belong to NDA. We have those that do not belong anywhere. NDA, Nigerian Dental Association. There are those that do not belong anywhere. Those that have completed their residency and are yet to be employed as consultants. Whereas the Medical Training Act states that any resident who completes his residency program and after 6 months is no more a member of ARD or NAD. So by law, not by convenience, after 6 months of exiting residency, whether you are paying your dues or not, the act is clear. You are not more a member of ARD. And by the constitution of MDCAN, you must be employed as a medical consultant to belong to MDCAN. So if you go by the law, not emotions, or not what we do traditionally, they are not members of ARD. There are our sisters who belong to M1 and working in Uduth. Now we have about 6 in Udut. We have medical officers who belong to NAG MDP in Udut. So that is 7 in Udut alone. Now, if we go to Quarry, Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital in Quarry, you have a minimum of 4. You have ARD, Quarry. You have MDCAN, Quarry. You have M1, Quarry. You have members, medical officers, NAG NDP, who are in Quarry. If you go to doctors employed in the state, they are mainly NAG NDP and a few that ally with MDCAN Odut. Then you also have our sisters working with the state, which are under M1. Now, to the university. In the university system, you have ASMEDA. Okay. Medsabam. And in enemy lingua franca, we don't use ASMEDA, we use Medsabams. They are called Medsabams. We have those working with the university health system. They belong to NADUS. So, how do we use affiliates when we have only 7 to elect? And again, the most complex of it is how do you distribute fairly among these affiliates? On what formula do you use? The proposal that was used, which we vehemently opposed, was that we give 1 to ASMEDA. Based on what criteria? We give 1 to MDCAN. Based on what criteria? We give 1 to M1. Apologies to the sister. M1 members also belong to MDCAN and other associations. We are giving them 1 again. We gave 2 to ARD Odut based on what criteria? We gave 1 to ARD, Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital. Now, NDA, they are not doctors in Sokoto. We completely forgot about NDA. When I was chairman of Nma Sokoto, my vice chairman, who was quite instrumental in many of our achievements, is a NADUS member. He is now the medical DMS of Sokoto. And we have other NADUS members. We completely eroded their rights. So, sir, based on this complexity, it will be very difficult to distribute among the affiliates. A pertinent question that I've kept asking is, do we have an authenticated financial list in Sokoto today? Administratively, being a chairman, I know how to generate a financial list. Can anybody in Nma today tell us accurately the financial status of members in Sokoto? I'm fully aware, and if the chairman can contradict that, should provide evidence that there is a whole affiliate that was left out. Their members are full financial members. There is a whole affiliate that was included, their members are not financial members in Nma Sokoto. So I asked the Congress, where is the transparency? We all have our interests. But I think as representatives, as leaders, we should keep our interests aside. And we should uphold the interest of our members. Sir, in this same Congress, as chairman of Nma Sokoto, we receive proposal from NAG-NDP for creation of zoning structure in Sokoto to be included in our bylaws. That proposal came to this Congress. This Congress vehemently opposed zoning structure in Sokoto on one basis, that we are not matured enough. So the question is, how do we create a vacuum, something out of a vacuum? There is a tradition of electioneering and elections in Nma Sokoto that we have followed diligently for years. And that tradition has been, we allow all eligible members to contest for elections. That has its flaws. In most instances, it favors a particular group of people. And that is why we brought the issue of zoning. And the Congress said that we cannot introduce zoning. So, sir, in the middle of an election, how do we change the goalposts of an election system that we have used for several years? In the middle of an election, how do we now say we want to create zones that when we are not in an election period, we refuse? So therefore, there's definitely a narrative. Sir, I'm aware and I'm privy to the fact that when you came from Abuja, there was a guideline that you set to use for this election. I will plead that for peace to reign, to avoid soiling your integrity, sir, I will plead that you abide by that well thought out guidelines that you came with from Abuja. Thank you very well, sir, for giving me this opportunity to speak.
Thank you very much. Sir, I think before there are two things.
Can we listen to that later again? There is one sentence I want to listen to carefully.
Our highly respected medical elder and chairman elders forum, Nma Sokoto. This is the letter that was sent to me, and I will read it again as requested by you, sir. The chairman, Nigerian Medical Association, Sokoto State Branch, dear sir, election of state delegate for the 2026 national election. Greetings from the National Secretariat of the Nigerian Medical Association. Following a review of the petition received from your state concerning the above subject, as well as your report on the delegation election process, and the response provided to the petition, it was observed that although the format for the distribution of delegates was agreed upon at the general meeting, the delegates themselves were not elected at the meeting. There was an election regarding that, agreed or disagreed. There was no election. There was no disagreement with the format. Yes, sir. Thank you. And I think based on that, I want to give another clarification. The reason why those people, the other affiliates, we followed the structure of the affiliate, and all the affiliates that were considered are affiliates that have structure. We don't have association of private medical practitioners in Sokoto. Where's the president? Where's the secretary? Where's the DB? We don't have, is he communicating with Nma Sokoto? Do we have any of his correspondence ever? We don't have Nigerian Dental Association in Sokoto State. We don't have them. Where's the president? Where's the secretary? I'm coming, I'll give you time. We don't have NADUS in Sokoto State. There's no president, there's no secretary. They are not communicating. Nobody knows them. Do anybody in this Congress know them? We don't have them. So that's why at the SEC, we discussed, and at this floor again, we discussed. Because there's nowhere this thing can be perfect. Thank you very much. Past President, Dr. Abdullahi. Dr. Abdullahi.
Please, one house, one house.
One house. Chairman and our powerful delegate from the national body. I think we must make progress. You see, the last speaker had mentioned several affiliates. I'm aware that those affiliates, they don't exist. For instance, in Kwari, you have only LD, we don't have MD Can Kwari. MD Can Kwari is just in the process, in the formative stage. The national body is not even aware that we are coming up. So you don't have anything like MD Can Kwari, M1 Kwari. There is nothing like that, it doesn't exist. And in Nma, the Congress is supreme. We have the right to take any decision here and we work with it. We have already advertised these positions. People had applied. Bring out those that actually applied. Is there any one of those affiliates you are talking about that is not listed among the distribution? We don't have, most likely. When you talk about affiliates, the state NMA, we always had SEC meeting. Give a proof that in the last 1 year, any one of those affiliates you are talking about actually attended any SEC meeting of this state? None. So, I hereby move that we should please go unveil those people that actually apply to be elected as delegates. Let's go ahead with the election. Thank you.
Of Nma Sokoto, our amiable, distinguished past president of Nma, past president Ogirma, and our friend Dr. Usha Anenga. Thank you very much, Chairman, for the opportunity. First, if we look at the Constitution, is man-made, and as soon as such is man-made, there's going to be a lot of flaws. And first to start with, because of flaws of the letters of this constitution, almost 500 people from Nigeria wanted to have an ADM. But because of the loopholes in this constitution, we couldn't have. The world is a global village. We have seen this delegate system has taken place in various states. Right from the state where the enemy president himself is on the delegate list. Was there an election? Was the process like this? Process took place in Kaduna and several other states. Because of loopholes within this...
Excuse me, sorry.
Please,
Sorry.
am I protected, sir?
No, please.
Mr. Chairman,
please,
sir, am I protected?
Sir, let me say this. You know, you are opening up issues that are not on the table. You talked about people wanting an EDM and they couldn't have it because of...
I'm only trying to make a point,
and that is
based
wrong.
on
It is
the
wrong.
Loopholes.
The point that you
based on the loopholes.
No, what I'm saying,
sir, that
sorry,
list is still being vetted at MDCN.
No,
we have not gotten any response yet.
Wait, you don't have information. You don't have information.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Just wait.
To the subject
just wait.
matter,
Can I speak?
Yes.
Let me speak.
Sir, I'll talk to the subject matter. Let's
please.
I'll talk to the subject matter, sir. There's no need. Let's stick to the subject matter. There are loopholes within the constitution as such is man-made. If we said we are not going by the delegate system, we are going free for all, are all the affiliates going to be represented? Is the semblance of fairness and representation be given? Definitely no. But as people and as constitutional body, we have the right to come up with perfection is a moving object. What we all needed to do is that as at SEC, we have agreed on what to do. And I borrowed from the principles and also the wisdom from the chairman of Elders Committee. Even NMA National did not dispute the fact of the format of what you want to do. And it's very simple, we shouldn't go forward. People said go through affiliate or otherwise. You divide the house, we vote, we take a decision and we move. And then we map out modalities of how we are going to vote. But if we argue, we'll argue here, never end up. There's a lot of loopholes people will use. And let's not also be fooled. This is time of election and people will use every means possible to see that they have an advantage. But as a people, we could come up with modalities to ensure that we do something that has a semblance of fairness. And as far as I'm concerned, the SEC resolution of Nma Sokoto has a semblance of fairness, and then the Congress can vote to either adopt or bring up what they feel they want to do. Thank you.
Article 7, Section 8, F2C. Delegates from branches shall reflect the various zones in the branch. The wisdom, this constitution remains supreme and operational till now. The wisdom of this is representation, is inclusiveness. We do not have zones. The submissions that have been coming up, I'm seeing a lot of complications coming forward. By the time the list of people that have been nominated comes up now, we're likely to move several steps backward. What we should resolve is for this Congress to take decision that we want inclusiveness, for us to agree on inclusiveness. And in the absence of the zones, our agreement with the affiliate structure, then let us move forward to agree on how the numbers that should represent the affiliates, and then we'll move on. Because if we are to go back to appointing, doing a nomination from the floor right now, there will be a number of violations again. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, good document. Constitution says zone. Your bylaw says you don't have zone until an appropriate time. So I'm putting it forward to you. After today, start developing zonal structure. But for today, how do we go about it? You have mentioned affiliates. Some are either 20 unrecognized. Some are Mesaban that have not paid dues. I mean, I am listening. So if you want to bring out those affiliates, I will say, okay, go online, download your bank account. You see how we are going technical. I want to see that, okay, each affiliate we are mentioning, they have been remitting their subscription for the past 6 months. If that is okay by us, then we'll look at the number. Let my VP say something.
Thank you very much. I just want to say a few words. Now, for every decision, are we together? For every decision that a people make, there are advantages and there are disadvantages. And when you take a decision, you enjoy the benefits of that decision, and you also take upon yourself the disadvantages of such decision. For me, that is what I see. Because at that time that the state was supposed to have zones which will be representative, which will be fair, the state in itself said we are not mature enough. You see, the time it's not good to go to the stage and start changing the song that you plan to sing. It's not when you go to the stage that you start changing the song, or when there's a penalty. Most football teams, they already know who takes the penalty. It's not when there's a penalty kick, you now say who is going to take. The penalty taker goes and takes it. I'm afraid that we are in an election now, and now we want to reap the benefits of having a fair distribution, whereas we refuse to take it. It's like eating your cake, having it, quite frankly. I agree that affiliates will give good representation across board, but the technical affiliate is very deep. And after sorting out the technicality of everything, is that based on the constitution? There's nowhere in NMA constitution that distributes anything according to affiliates. Nowhere in the NMA constitution that talks about affiliates this, affiliates. Nowhere it distributes any, even the monies that come, they don't distribute it to affiliates. NMA does not have control over affiliates. That's why when NAD go on strike, NMA cannot tell NAD to call off their. Affiliates actually apply to affiliate with NAD, whereas all doctors belong to NMA. So some people don't have affiliates, but doctors. Some doctors retire, they don't practice, they don't do anything. But based on our constitution, where you reside, and once you pay license, you are a member of that. So I want to advise this house. It is true that there are benefits, but if you took that decision that you don't want a zone, you must also bear consequences of an distribution at a particular time. That is just the truth. And this election is not the first and last election we're going to have. In the next 2 years, going to election. In the next 2 years, there'll be election. If there's anything we have learned, is that let Sokoto begin to work on their constitution now, so that in the next 2 years, there will be no debate. There will be fairness. But if you want to reap the benefits of a fair distribution, whereas there's no zone, and I did not even know that it was even documented that we will deliberately not have zones. We don't have an argument on the ground right now. That is the truth. And even though we do a process here, I'm in the national, and I know those letters we wrote, and we understand why we wrote them, because we the constitution says and secretary are statutory, the orders shall be elected. We don't want those orders, we don't want any restriction on the orders. No restriction. Nobody should be restricted that I cannot vie to be that orders. But if you have zones, then let those zones in a general meeting choose who they want to represent them. I think that is it. So we cannot go back to correct the errors of the past. I want to everybody knows that we need fairness, but we don't have right now. We don't have that structure legally to back up having a fair result in this meeting, and we must agree to bear the consequences. That's the truth. So we have discussed this enough. We want to do what is backed by constitution. I can tell you free and without any ambiguity that if you do an election based on affiliate without any constitutional backing, it may not pass the test of our constitution. And it will be like throwing away the baby and the bathwater. You will end up having just the chairman and the secretary representing Sokoto State. I'm afraid. That's the truth. I just wanted to lay this down so that everybody will understand the situation we are in. Sometimes you are in a precarious situation. You know what is good, but you don't have the constitutional backing to get that done. You must accept the consequences. Thank you very much.
Thank you, BP2. I think, Dr. Abdullahi, maybe the Congress should just decide and we should move on.
To make progress today, after all this contribution, I want to move a motion that, one, all the candidates that have applied to contest for delegates should be allowed to contest on a free for all contest. We should not mention any affiliate about any particular candidate. Let the general house vote for all the candidates. Those with the highest vote will carry it. Thank you. That is my motion. Looking for a seconder.
Prof. Jia, you want to give information?
Please, one house, please. So the actual information I wanted you to actually wait. Please, one house. The information I want to give, and I want the national officers to actually guide us. Election, ladies and gentlemen, please be silent. Election for the delegates have been advertised. People have already applied for this post, and there was a closing deadline for submission of the nomination form. That's what I wanted to actually add before. Because he has not been seconded, so you can move it again. I want to ask you, the people from Abuja, these positions have been advertised, and people have picked form. So I don't want the issue of affiliate to be mentioned. In principle, we know they have applied based on that, okay? But we don't want it to be mentioned. You get what I'm saying? That people have applied, and we go ahead and conduct the election based on those who have applied for those, and the deadline for it have closed. So we go by that, but not necessarily basing is that okay, we'll wait for this affiliation and the best, the highest serving, whatever, have the if we are all of them are here, no problem. The highest 7, if we vote them, become the delegates, then we can come back now later and work on our bylaws so that it will not go anywhere. It's not constitutional that we based on affiliates, but people have already picked form, for these positions, and they've already been duly seconded, and nominations are closed. So can we go by that list without mentioning affiliates? What is your stake there? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, please let me clarify. The forms that we gave out, because we provided those forms, they were not based on affiliates. I understand that some affiliates even place restriction on the caliber of people that should pick those forms. We did not give that instruction. Everybody was eligible to pick those forms, and that you have your affiliate there as an item that you need to provide is just for biodata. We also ask if you are male or female. It's just biodata. It's nothing. We ask for phone number. It's just for statistics. It doesn't mean that the election is by affiliate. The constitution says orders, and that orders is open to everybody. Now, let's not underestimate the power of election. If you actually want people to be voted according to whatever you want, you can actually vote it in your ballot paper. You can have your entire wish as an individual on the ballot paper. So even if it's a general election, that is why even though it's a general election, some people still win. Some people still win. So if your wish, your ballot paper is your voice. So if majority here actually want an affiliate-like system, they can talk together. They can say, vote like this, vote like this, vote like this. That's time for politicking. And you actually vote, and at the end of the day, you will see that the delegates that emerge have your wish. And we too will be satisfied that we have done it generally, and then we have complied with the constitution. Whereas people have their wish. Well, nobody will come out to say that I was given any restriction, I could not participate because a cap was placed on the number of candidates that must come from our affiliate. We will not have those complaints. Thank you very much.
Thank you, BP2. I think we should just listen to 1-2 people and take direction. We should not be.
We need a second encounter.
Sir, let's allow people to ventilate so that we will not deny people the. Let them talk. Let's hear.
Thank you, our distinguished representative from the National. I'm Dr. Garba Muhammad Aliyu, IPC, Nagem DP Sokoto State. I was the person that brought the zoning mandate to this Congress, and it did fly through. And we took it in good faith. I think all of us should implore to listen to our elders. What they are telling us is that they have labored enough for we to be where we are today. And they are still giving us that kind guidance on how we will prosper in future. It's clear all the elders in this house today have given us what we need not to continue dragging this issue. We already have people who have expressed their interest, either by affiliation or by whatever methodology. And even the national agree that the state has that little flexibility because we don't have zoning. So let us just, in the spirit of togetherness, move forward, respect our elders, bring out those names, and let us move on. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other?
Very much, Mr. Chairman, for the recognition. My respected elders, senior colleagues, our esteemed guests from the national body, you are welcome to Sokoto. I am by name Dr. Murtala Bello Ibrahim, the immediate past president, ARD Udu Sokoto. Our guests, sir, I so much appreciate your wisdom, sir.
for the way forward you have been trying to wriggle out of this quagmire. However, sir, there is a point that I want us to draw us back a little, that during the SEC meeting of Nma Sokoto, a decision was reached which was brought to the floor of the Congress during OGM. And that decision that was brought upon is in the spirit of unity, fairness, and inclusivity, that there is no zoning in Sokoto. However, we have affiliates. And the leaders of those affiliates were in that meeting. The person that wrote the petition was in that meeting. They all agreed upon that this affiliation will be fairness to all. That's one. Two, they mandated the affiliates to go and conduct their own congresses, which the affiliates went and did their own congresses and reached a conclusion that the individual heads of the affiliate, that's in places where they have the president and the secretary, should be the one to be the delegate. A motion was raised in ARD, for example. I'm sorry to use this word. The person that raised the petition is still believed to be ARD member. He was in that meeting. Whether he's there or not, he was in that meeting. He didn't raise any notion that he didn't agree with the selection of the members of ARD that were asked to be ARD delegate. And if you say by election, election is deliberate choice. And it means that ARD Congress deliberately believed that the president and the secretary will be their delegate, which was forwarded to the Nma, and Nma collated the remaining elections, because indirectly they are elections, although they feel with their observation, that were forwarded to the national body. So sir, I can tell you, the person that wrote the petition met one of us as saying that he wants to be part of the delegate. Ask that wrote that petition whether that he is not, if to say he has been elected as part of that delegate, will he have written that petition? Will he have written that petition if he has been selected as part of those delegates?
All right.
No.
Thank you very much.
It's because he asked that let him be part of that delegate. He was denied that and said that no, Congress decision supersede your own personal interests. Congress of ARD decided that president and the secretary will be the delegates. So how on earth has somebody been
Thank you.
ARD
Thank you very much.
still went and wrote a petition?
Thank you,
sir.
See, there is something that we must have fundamentally very right. Are we together? Are we together? In this association, if you look at our Hippocratic oath, it emphasizes on respect. So respect is not questionable in this association. Besides that, every member of the association has equal rights. Every member of the association has equal rights, and those rights are protected. Ideally, making reference to the person that wrote the petition should not even arise in this meeting. Do we understand? It should not have been mentioned at all. Because when a petition comes, even from, do you know that House officers in this country have written to the World Medical Association? You have that right. So you look at the facts of the matter, not the individual, not the surround, not even if it's somebody that, I say, whatever is surrounding that person, you look at the content of what the person has written. Do you understand? It is based on that. Whether that individual is not even a member of an affiliate, is not known, is immaterial. The circumstances that surrounded the person writing the petition, whether the person was even the chairman himself, chairmen have indeed written petition even to the national body. That's the chairman of association. So I would like you to disbias your mind from individual matters. We have not come here to mention names or call anybody names. It's just to look at the facts of the matter. Is this constitutional? is this, is this, that, and I believe that's been what has been guiding us right from inception. Thank you very much. I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you very much. I think a lot has been said, and it is very important at this point to have a way forward. And a lot of things have been suggested. So I think at this stage, we may, one house please, one house. I think at this stage, looking at what people deposited, our elders, you know, the highly respected and the highly respected past president, Nma Sokoto, and every other person, I think at this level now, we can actually look at it clearly and see the direction that we can take. Because whatever it is that we will do what the Congress wants. And the Congress at this level should just decide based on all this deposition. How are we going to do? Are we going to field everybody so that we elect those people the way they are? Or we are going to consider any option? Past President, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we have exhausted this discussion. Tempers were high. Some were calling names. No, when I was president, I was called an imbecile professor. Social media, and that's why I said, don't create any other social media. I want to be there. And I enjoyed it. Because out of the media, I was speaking how to deal with those people. And by constitution, for the first time, I think, is the last time, I sent people away from the association. I threw them away, 12 of them, widely publicized. Honorable Sununu then was saying, Mr. President, it has never been done before. But I say it's constitutional. And that's why Lagos today know how to behave. They are zone and they are state. But we cage them. They say we don't have sense in the north. We show them. Today they are behaving well. And of course, I know how to tackle even the present chairman there. He's just using constitution. But by the way, I'm happy the way we have gone. What is sacrosanct is that I will not go against the constitution. The NOC saw it wise and said that election was illegal. So we can't go back through the same way. And that's why I must thank one of our elders here. Yes, we are not counting any, we are not recognizing any affiliate. Whoever must have shown interest will all vote for them. The highest 7 will be returned elected. In that wise, we can take a break while you allow us to screen those who have volunteered or signified to contest. As we come back, because we want to screen, we want to submit names at the end of the day that your MDCN folio file is viable, your current practicing license is there, and you are not owing MDCN any due at all. So your state enemy, we want to see that you are active here. It's not just because of the election. Let's see that you are active. So just give us 30 minutes and we'll do the screening. Thank you.
Yeah, we are going to contest. Kindly also state the relevant sections of enemy constitutions that supported us to do that. Because going forward, so that after this process, nobody else will go again and petition a process that he's part of. You only made mention of statement without making relevant to the relevant sections of the enemy constitution.
Thank you. We are having this constitutional matter on the floor. I think it's better, sir, to sort it out before we proceed. Because since there's constitutional matter, I don't think we can progress without sorting it out. Yes. We just sent a message that he's stepping down from the delegate election. Thank you.
In 10 minutes time, we want to give time for our members to pray. So we'll reconvene here in 10 minutes time exactly to tick. Don't tick more than 7. You can tick less than 7, but not more than what? 7. If you tick 8 names, it's invalid. Are we together? Tick within the box. Don't tick across boxes. If you tick across boxes, well, just make sure that it's consecutive, because it will be amount to not ticking. Okay? If it crosses to an 8, the 8th box, it's invalid. Okay? So please, we're going to start the process. We understand that some people are on call. If you're on call, please, we are doctors. If you're on call, you can approach, and then we'll get your name and you vote. And elders within us that can't wait for the entire process can approach the table and we can sort that out.